Hi, this is Sam, and I'm just going to give you a run through of the code for my Vladmier mobile game for the advanced mobile module of CI 660. So there's a number of scripts, and I'll go over the main ones quickly. So don't destroy and load uses Unity's don't destroy and load function to stop certain objects from being destroyed when a new scene is loaded, such as the scene manager and some of the controls and things, as you can see here. And we have to make sure, we have to run a check to make sure that when the game loops around that there isn't multiple of the same thing, so we destroy anything where there's duplicates. The Firebase, this initiates the Firebase connection for the cloud saves on Google's Firebase storage solution. And then the save data here, we initially get a reference to the database, so then we can use this to save and send stuff to the cloud. So here we've got kind of different hierarchy sort of thing with the children. So here we're saying we're going to store the coin count under user 1, which is under users. So what I can do is I can switch over and show you the database. So here we've got users, user 1, and then we've got a coin count along with all the other things that we're saving. So that's basically what that does. And then we load it back up here. So this looks out for any changes in the user branch. And this is the function that does the changes. So it gets a snapshot when save is pressed, it sends the snapshot up, and then we can convert it back. And then here is the toast timer. So when save is pressed, the timer counts down and the toast will disappear after a second. So that's the saving and stuff. We've got the movable controls. So when the custom controls, you can move around the touch screen to have them where you want. So we get the input here from the touch, and we then attach a collider to it here. So wherever we're touching, we create a collider, and then we compare that collider to the one on the particular controller that we're trying to touch. And if we are touching something, then we're allowed to move it, and then drag it across, and it ends up in position, and we can reset it to its initial position if we want to. Other scripts, we've got the main two scripts are Hero Night and Scene Management. So if we go to Scene Management, Scene Management has a lot of components because it's keeping track of most of the game objects themselves. So it controls like the coin and potion count, and at the start when we go to level 1, it turns different screens like menus and overlays on or off depending on what the player is doing. It resets the player's position, it keeps track of their health, it does the HUD for the health bar. And then, it contains each level where we load into different levels, like, load scene level 2 or level 3, go back to the main menu, quit the game, win and lose screen menu. So it literally just keeps track of everything. And then, you've got the settings and pause screens. So you have to kind of, it's a bit more complicated because I need to know which screen they're in, since they've got similar inputs, and it needs to kind of work across both of them. So if something's activated in settings, then it has to be activated in pause, and vice versa. We update the coin potion count here, and then we've also got gyro activation. So again, if it's activated in the settings and the pause menus to make sure it's works across both of them. And the edit control screen, which then adds the red boxes around the controls. And enables the movable script as well. So that's the scene manager. And then finally, we do have the health component as well, which just sets the health for the player and the enemy. And when take damage is called in the Hero Knight script or the enemy script, then it it calls these ones, plays death animation, takes the damage away, etc. And like that. But yeah, the other main one here is Hero Knight. So this one came with the asset that was downloaded from the Unity asset store for free, but I made a load of changes to it to make it suitable for my game and for touch controls. So you got the kind of basic stuff here that was already in the script, but then I added a lot more, as you can see here. So I've got all the different control buttons and joysticks. I've got attack related things, etc. And then the update function is where pretty much everything happens. There's a lot of stuff to do with animations, making sure the right animations are played, which was mostly already in the script, but I changed the kind of movement controls and things. So here I changed it to get the joysticks position. So then based on the joystick position or the gyroscope's value, we decide which way the player is facing. And then we do a similar thing with the movement, but we add velocity to the rigid body by multiplying the directional movement by the speed and the y velocity. And then, if the joystick is not being touched, then it will check for gyro controls. So you can't do both at the same time. And then you just got lots of different sort of animations. And then at the bottom here, you've got the different functions for example, jumping, which is similar to movement, but it uses a jump force variable instead, different value. The attacking is a collider, so there's two attack colliders either side of the player, and any enemies that are overlapping it, so it overlaps the circle, then they will take damage, basically. So for each one, we call the damage function on their health component and do damage to them. And then we've got health regen, so the potion only works if the player has 80 or less health. Restart the game, because if the player dies, then we don't want the enemy to keep attacking them, and we don't want the player to be able to move a dead character, so we end up disabling the collider and changing the rigid body to static, so this just kind of resets it. And then we've got gyro controls at the bottom, so if the device supports gyroscope controls, then we can enable or disable it. So that's pretty much the bulk of the code.